Some people think they can judge a man by his appearance. They believe wealth and status define a person's worth. But what happens when the one they mock the most turns out to be the one who holds all the power? This is the story of a man who was humiliated, mistreated, and cast aside, until the truth shattered everything. In the heart of Los Angeles, inside a luxurious estate, the Winters family was gathered for an exclusive family dinner. They were an influential, ultra-wealthy white family, known for their successful chain of luxury resorts. They prided themselves on their high society image, wealth, and power. At the center of attention sat Emma Winters, the family's beloved daughter, a young lawyer with a rebellious streak. Sitting beside her, looking out of place in the sea of wealthy elites, was her husband, David Carter, a humble black man in his early 30s. David had a quiet confidence about him. He was polite, respectful, but he had never been accepted by the Winters family. Emma's father, Richard Winters, a ruthless businessman, never hid his disdain. He always believed his daughter had married beneath her class. Her mother, Victoria Winters, was no different, cold, condescending, always reminding David of his place in the family. And then there was Emma's older brother, James, the heir to the family fortune. James openly mocked David, treating him like a charity case his sister had foolishly married. The constant humiliation. At the dinner table, the tension was thick. Richard set down his wine glass and smirked. "So, David, tell me again. What exactly do you do for a living?" David wiped his mouth calmly before answering. "I manage a few businesses." James chuckled. "Manage a few businesses?" He turned to the family. "That's rich. I heard you were just some small-time freelancer. Do you even make six figures?" Laughter echoed around the table. Emma gripped David's hand under the table, but he simply smiled, unfazed. Victoria sighed dramatically. "Emma, sweetheart, we just want what's best for you. A stable future, security, someone with real resources." Richard leaned in. "Tell me, David, have you ever even stayed at one of our resorts? I doubt you could even afford a single night." The room burst into laughter. David simply nodded. "Actually, I've visited quite a few of your hotels." Richard smirked. "Oh, as a guest?" David took a sip of his drink. "No, as an investor." The laughter immediately stopped. The shocking truth. Richard frowned. "What the hell are you talking about?" David leaned forward, his calm demeanor unwavering. "Winters Resorts is struggling, isn't it? Declining occupancy rates, financial mismanagement. The board has been looking for solutions." James scoffed. "And what does that have to do with you?" David smiled. "I recently acquired controlling shares in Winters Resorts." Dead silence. Victoria gasped, covering her mouth. James's face went pale. "And Richard?" He stared at David in disbelief. "That's not possible," Richard muttered. David took out his phone and pulled up an email. "Would you like to see the final approval document?" He slid the phone across the table. Richard's hands trembled as he read the email, from the board of directors, confirming David as the new majority shareholder. The ultimate power shift. David leaned back. "So technically, that means I own this house." Victoria nearly choked on her wine. James shot up from his chair. "You're lying." David chuckled. "I don't need to lie. The truth is written in the contracts." Richard clenched his jaw. "You set this up. You manipulated the company." David shrugged. "I did my research. I saw a business in distress and made a strategic decision. That's how business works, doesn't it, Richard?" Emma squeezed David's hand, smiling proudly. The fallout. The once mighty Winters family had just been put in their place. Their company was now under David's control. The same son-in-law they humiliated was now their boss. Richard, still in shock, finally spoke. "What are you going to do?" David tilted his head. "I haven't decided yet. Maybe I'll let the board keep you on, or maybe it's time for some restructuring." James slammed his fists on the table. "You can't do this." David stood up, adjusting his watch. "Actually, I can." He turned to Emma, smiling. "Shall we go home, darling?" She nodded, and together, they walked away, leaving the Winters family in complete humiliation. Moral of the story? Never judge someone by their appearance. The person you look down on today might just own everything you have tomorrow. Fire comment, power, if you love seeing karma in action. The exclusive charity Galath Crystal Tower Hotel was buzzing with the city's most powerful business elites. It was the annual charity gala. hosted by Ethan Sterling, a self-proclaimed financial mogul. The event was a hotspot for networking, power moves, and flaunting wealth. David Carter and his wife, Emma, stepped into the grand ballroom. Unlike the crowd in tailored Armani suits and glittering designer gowns, David wore a simple, classic tuxedo, and Emma's dress, while elegant, lacked the excessive embellishments seen on the other women. Eyes turned, whispers spread. The snide remarks begin. Speech balloon Travis Belmont, a hedge fund manager, nudged his colleague. Wait, is that Emma Winters? Didn't she marry some freelancer? Speech balloon Sophia Langley, an heiress, giggled. Oh my god, yes, I heard he doesn't even have a stable income. Speech balloon Ethan Sterling smirked, surprised they even got in. I didn't realize we were letting in ordinary folks. Emma tensed, but David squeezed her hand. Unbothered. The ultimate insult. The evening progressed, and soon, Ethan took the stage to address the room. Speech balloon, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight is a celebration of success. Look around you, leaders in finance, tech, real estate, a room full of winners. Applause filled the hall. Speech balloon, success isn't for everyone. Ethan continued, it takes hard work, dedication, and of course, knowing your place. His eyes locked onto David. Speech balloon, some of us were born to lead. Others? Well, let's just say, they were lucky enough to marry well. Laughter erupted. Champagne glasses clinked. Emma's face burned. David? Still calm. Speech balloon Travis chuckled. Emma, it's great that you're still trying to help your husband climb the ladder. Speech balloon Sophia smirked. Oh, come on. Maybe he's here looking for a job. Ethan, do you have an opening? Maybe an assistant position? Speech balloon Ethan laughed. I don't think we have an opening for aspiring businessmen. More laughter. David simply smiled. The first twist, fake identity? David set down his drink and calmly spoke. Speech balloon, actually, I own a company. Ethan raised an eyebrow. Oh, and what business is that? David reached into his pocket and pulled out a sleek black business card. He slid it across the table. Ethan picked it up and read aloud. Collision David Carter, CEO and Chairman. Sterling Enterprises. Silence. Speech balloon Travis scoffed. That's hilarious. Sterling Enterprises? That's Ethan's company. Speech balloon Sophia smirked. You really went all out on that fake card. Speech balloon Ethan laughed, shaking his head. I own Sterling Enterprises. You think printing a fake card makes you important? Speech balloon Travis grinned. What's next? You tell us you're a billionaire? The entire table erupted into laughter. David remained calm, smiling. The real power move. David casually pulled out his phone. Speech balloon, oh, you need proof? He tapped the screen and turned it around. An official press release from Sterling Enterprises. Collision, Sterling Enterprises welcomes new chairman and majority shareholder, David Carter. The laughter stopped instantly. Ethan froze. Travis went pale. Sophia gasped. Speech balloon David leaned in. I closed the deal this morning. Speech balloon Ethan's voice cracked. That's not possible. I own. Speech balloon David smiled. Correction. Owned. Ethan staggered back, face drained of color. Karma in action. Speech balloon David turned to Travis and Sophia. You were talking about job openings? Sophia forced a laugh. David, it was just a joke. Speech balloon David smirked. Well, jokes aside, I think it's time for some restructuring. Speech balloon Ethan panicked. David, listen, we can work something out. Speech balloon David adjusted his cufflinks. I don't surround myself with people who look down on others. The aftermath. By Monday, Sterling Enterprises had a new leadership team. Ethan? Gone. Travis? Fired. Sophia? Replaced. David? Still winning. That night, as David and Emma left the gala, she turned to him. Speech balloon, that was satisfying. Speech balloon David chuckled. Some lessons are best taught in person. Moral of the story? Never judge someone by their appearance. The person you mock today might be the one signing your termination letter tomorrow. Fire comment, karma. If you love seeing arrogant people get what they deserve,